What is up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be going over everything you need to know about Fortnite's Metallica update. As always, if you guys do find this video helpful, informative, interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like some more, and comment down below what you think of this update. We're first going to talk about the Metallica collab, and this spans all game modes. I think Festival, Rocket Racing, maybe not Lego, but in BR as well. All got content for the Metallica collab, but my videos focus mostly on BR. There are Metallica collab items in the item shop, skins and emotes and music and things of that nature in the item shop with this collab. But as far as what changed as far as BR gameplay goes, the first is going to be that the guitar item was added. This shoots you up into the air and then you basically fly around in the sky. You have like 3 dashes essentially that are timed with when the character strums the guitar, and you just kind of look in the direction you want to go. And then after your final one is done, you kind of crash land onto the ground, and you can actually jump into where somebody else activated the guitar to follow them. So if you're playing a team game mode, you can follow them that way, or if you're playing against an enemy player and they use this, you can jump in and follow them. Kind of similar to how rifts work, where like someone takes a rift and then there's a period of time where you can follow them into the rift. The guitar item is pretty similar. This I think is going to be one of the most frustrating items ever added to the game for a lot of players. So you guys know how Fortnite players are. They really like running away, and anytime you engage them in any sort of fight, they're looking for the fastest way out, you know? And the guitar item is very good as far as just like you hit the button and then you're traveling a pretty large distance. It's pretty hard to beam the person using it. And they can get pretty far pretty quick. And it goes on cooldown afterwards. So there is a delay before they can use it again, but they're going to be able to use it again. So far in a few hours of playing this update, I've already encountered several players where like every time I encounter this player in the match, they just run from me with the guitar. And that seems to be their playstyle. And I feel like that's going to be very prevalent playstyle as time goes on. Rift to goes were always kind of like a frustrating item for a lot of players for this reason, because you could be winning a fight versus somebody and then they just tap the button and they're out of there. Imagine if a Rift to go went on cooldown and then that person could just use it again later on. That's kind of how I feel about the guitar item. I'm sure a lot of people will like it and enjoy it, but playing against it, I think, will become tiresome for a lot of players, especially those who don't really like when every fight is just somebody running from you. That kind of already happens a lot this season with the amount of cars, the fists, and now this. Personally, I would rather have fists than the guitar, because I like having a mobility item that's like more useful in a fight. You know, if I get tags on somebody and want to push them, I feel like the fists are going to be better for that. If I want to get high ground on somebody, I feel like the fists are going to be better than that. The guitar is a great traveling around the map mobility item, and if you don't have like a utility, like if I just have 2 guns and I don't really have a boom bolt yet, or I don't have EMPs yet, I wouldn't mind having the guitar item. Or maybe if I already have the shield regenerate medallion from the machinist, then maybe run the guitar in addition to the fists with no heals at all. I think that could go well, especially if you're confident winning fights without carrying heals and, you know, you have that medallion to back you up as well. But overall, if I'm only carrying one mobility item, I would much rather have the fists. And like I said, I think a lot of people are going to be complaining about the guitar from now until the time it's removed from the game. The next addition to the game, as far as the Metallica collab is going to go, is that Loot Island, the one that spawns in 4th Zone, has been redesigned for the Metallica collab. And now you actually capture the flag in the center by emoting here. So that's kind of cool. I guess it's a nice little twist because it's meant to be like a stage kind of stadium performance type thing. So you have to go onto the flag and emote. The loot you get is the same, so you can get the you still get the Mythic hand cannon. It's not like they changed out the Mythic. And as far as getting the guitar goes, I think you can get it from just like general loot, like how you would floor loot chests, or there are some guitar stands around the map that you can also take advantage of if you want to get a guaranteed guitar. It's a pretty good mobility item. The next biggest change is going to be that boogie bombs have been vaulted and EMPs have been unvaulted. So this was kind of known that this was going to be happening for a bit, but now EMPs are back. They do drop in stacks of 3. I'm not sure if it was always 3 because I didn't use these that much in the past. For some reason, I thought it was 2, but they do drop in stacks of 3 now, and you can carry 6. So you find 2 spawns of it and you have a full stack. They do 80 shield damage. So if you throw 2 of these down on an opponent in 0 build, you will have destroyed all of their shield if they're a full HP opponent. They disable cars for 10 seconds. And I've been told that they disable the turret as well now. So if you have somebody in a car and you're able to hit EMPs on them, especially if you can chuck too, now they're kind of stranded in the car. They may or may not be able to use the turret. And you just did a lot of shield damage to them. So I think EMPs are good, and it's my personal preferred item to carry. Like I've talked about many times with boogie bombs in the game, I like having just that immediate snap counter to a car. EMPs kind of give me that, and then also forcing those players to play a different game and respond to that in the moment, I think often will catch them off guard. I think this also pairs quite good with the Flowberry Fizz. I typically prefer Nuka-Cola, but something about the Fizz, when you do the Fizz jump, it just feels like a good kind of like angle to throw EMPs for me. I didn't care as much with the Boogie, but EMPs, I do like having the Fizz with, so I may end up using Fizz more than Nuka-Cola now. And I think that's basically it as far as EMPs go. The next item that was added is the tow hook item. This was shown in the trailer, and a lot of people have been looking forward to it. It does 75 damage to players, and I've heard that people kind of like this for a double pump playstyle where they like shoot a shotgun and then swap to this and then maybe back to their shotgun and just deal a lot of damage in a short time span. It also will deal 300 damage to cars, and it allows you to attach to the car. And so people have been saying that this is going to be a great counter to cars ever since we saw the trailer. And I just never really agreed with that, because I feel like, let's say you're fighting a car and it has a turret on it. Being dragged behind the car, I feel like is just asking to get beamed, you know? And as far as damage goes, 300 damage is like on par with what the boom bolt crossbow does. So I don't think this item is going to be like some amazing counter to cars. Anytime I had somebody use it on me when I was in a car, I was happy they did so, because I was able to just get an easy elimination on them. Because they're being dragged in a like pretty predictable manner. You can choose to detach from the tow hook if you do use it, so like it's not like you're forced to be dragged behind it. But I'm just mainly responding to the idea that like being dragged behind the car is some great spot to be in, you know. And I think the person is at a decent kind of disadvantage and they're pretty vulnerable. Oddly enough, you can get this out of the upgraded ammo boxes, and for whatever reason today, I was getting 2 consumables a lot from those. So I was getting like splash and a repair tool, or like splash and a tow hook somewhat often. And I feel like in the past, it was just like you would get 1 consumable. Maybe you'd get minis, maybe you'd get nitro splash, maybe you'd get a repair tool. It seems like they're dropping 2 now. And the tow hook is one of those items that can be dropped from the big ammo box. A lot of people are saying that the regular version of the combat AR was added in this update. I'm not sure if it was meant to or not, but it is currently not in the game. The Mythic combat AR is still the only combat AR in the loot pool, but you will be able to get the regular combat AR sometime this season. It'll maybe be added next week as like the item they add, you know. Some bug fixes were a part of this update as well. The 2 most notable ones to me is the reload bug has been fixed. So sometimes when you swap to a weapon, it would force you to reload even though you didn't need to reload. That has been fixed. And then also the pay to lose cars has also been fixed, where in some vehicles, the passenger could eliminate the driver just by like looking like at the windshield, you know, and hanging out with their gun. They fixed that. That is no longer a thing. And there's a few other minor bug fixes, but there was a new huge bug. And if you're playing on PC or Switch, this is going to basically ruin the game for you, I think, until they fix it. So next, I'm going to talk about a major bug that was added in this update, but it has actually been fixed in between me recording the commentary and editing the video. You can now go into the desert if you're on PC. This bug still persists for Switch players. So I'm going to leave this part in the video in case there is anybody watching on Switch, or if you guys are just curious about what was going on and, you know, you maybe heard about it and didn't really know what it was. That's what we're about to talk about. But like I said, it has been fixed, but this was initially recorded prior to them fixing it. And that is that your game will crash anytime you enter the desert. So you can go to Nitrodrome, but like getting past that little like crevice that's past Nitrodrome going towards like the rig, if you get into like that part of the desert, your game will just crash if you play on PC and Switch. If you jump out of the bus too early in that area, or like over that area, your game will crash. And if you go there during the match, your game will crash. And Fortnite has made it to where zones no longer go in that area, which is a good thing. but or like they no longer end there, I guess. But even after they did this, I did have some matches where I was basically forced into that area, and I basically had to choose between being eliminated to the storm or going into the area, which crashes my game. Or I guess I maybe could have navigated it in some way. Like there might have been like some parts that weren't, you know, immediately going to crash my game. But either way, this is one of the most frustrating bugs that I think has ever been present in Fortnite. You know, like you go into an area, you can't play the game anymore. That sucks. And so you would be like, okay, just don't go there. That's fine. Cool. But when the zone forces you to go there in a battle royale, like there's no choice, you know? And I've had matches today where like I had good loot. I had like a good position in the game in terms of like my setup, my HP versus the opponent's HP. And I felt very confident that I was going to win the game. And then go into the area, game over. So that is definitely one of the more irritating things about the game right now. Hopefully they fix it soon, and maybe by the time you watch this, if you're watching this video when it's been out for a day or two, they've already fixed it. But as far as like playing the game today, this was one of the like least enjoyable experiences I've ever had playing a video game. Like yeah, it's just not great. So that is going to be it for this video and this update. I hope you guys found this video helpful, informative, interesting. As always, if you did, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.